Have you ever heard of Bacha Bazi? Have you heard about this, Lewis?
Yeah.
WikiLeaks, speaking of what WikiLeaks has been revealing, it turns out that U.S. tax dollars, your tax dollars, Lewis's tax dollars, my tax dollars, are funding pedophilia. Child sex slavery in Afghanistan, okay? U.S. government contractor Dyncorp threw a party for Afghan security recruits featuring trafficked boys as the entertainment. This is Bacha Bazi. And Lewis, give us a quick summary. This is basically young boys are recruited, dressed up as little girls. They dance around, they dance with and around men.
Yep.
And then they are essentially, they go home with the men. They're prostituted.
Some of the time, I believe, yeah.
It's an Afghan tradition, and a lovely tradition at that. And Dyncorp is a government contractor which has been providing training for these Afghan security and police forces for several years. 95%, by all reports, of Dyncorp's funding comes from American taxpayers. 95%. Okay? And there is now evidence linking Dyncorp to Bacha Bazi. They are setting up, they are doing the recruiting through local Afghan people to get these little boys into these parties. And then you know what happens, right? So at these parties, there's all sorts of stuff going on. And just to top it off, there's child prostitution.
So this isn't ignorance on the part of Dyncorp.
No. There is no indication.
They're actively doing the recruiting and the hosting of these parties.
Don't be confused that this is just happening in the same place that Dyncorp is throwing a party. Now, the other thing is that Dyncorp has a history of this type of stuff. If you Google Dyncorp and child kidnapping, you can spend a long time reading. This is a big deal, Lewis. And as if this couldn't get more outrageous, there is an individual who is the Minister of the Interior, Hanif Atmar. He tried to squash the story. He caught wind of the fact that this might come out. Mm-hmm. And he said, you know what, if this gets out, the image of foreign mentors might be ruined. In other words, if people find out that there's humiliation, objectification, sale, rape of children, it might tarnish the good work of Dyncorp and all the money that they're sending into Afghanistan as well as a result of that taxpayer funding. After all, Bacha Bazi is popular. It's a popular activity in Afghanistan. Things are getting boring with funding questionable wars with no end, a military that doesn't allow gays to serve openly, still technically doesn't, making and trading of weapons to countries that hate us. What the hell? Let's fund overseas child prostitution and pedophilia. Why not? Right? I mean, let's just do it.
Crazy.
Not the first time Dyncorp has used U.S. dollars to support sex trafficking. Bosnia 1999, look it up. Don't have time to get into it now. I've also been told that the U.S. doesn't even have authority over Dyncorp's corporate actions overseas. Really? We've been so taken over by corporations that we have no choice but to let them buy child prostitutes for Afghan men if that's what they want to do. We just have no choice.
A U.S.-based company is free to do anything they want overseas with their spending?
Oh, I don't know that it's completely free, but apparently what I'm hearing, I talked to a couple of lawyers before the show, they say it's not clear that we have the authority to stop this. Shouldn't we demand that our tax money go to fight sex trafficking and not fund it? It's bad enough that it's going to all of these questionable wars. I don't even really want some of my money going to sex trafficking. I really think the standard should be none. And obviously, Dyncorp needs to be held accountable. I got an email saying, it's sad that every day we're finding out that our nation is using taxpayer money not to help, as we see all the time, but actually to harm. It's not surprising. We've known that for a long time, right? That's not a surprise to anybody.
Right.
The other interesting thing before we break is that religious fundamentalists there seem to be having some parallels to religious fundamentalists in the U.S., right? We know that gay activity is frowned upon in the Middle East. We know that Afghanistan is a deeply homophobic Muslim country. Mm-hmm. They certainly don't condone men having sex with men. So this is what is happening in the back rooms. And it's similar because this is so common among the American religious right.
Absolutely.
Same type of point of view on homosexuality, and it's leading to pedophilia.
And it's really no surprise.
It's no surprise at all. And here's my last thing on this. Where's Dyncorp's PayPal account? Are they using MasterCard to take payments? Do they have a bank account with Bank of America? Because if WikiLeaks doesn't deserve to receive money through any of those, should any American bank, credit card processing agency, or other payment system be handling payments for Dyncorp? I would question where exactly is their money being handled? Because the WikiLeaks comparison here really seems absurd. We'll be back after this.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.